What is up, all you Tiger fans out there? My name is David Campbell, and welcome back to yet another episode of Tailgaters. And I'm a little sad because my good friend Ethan Cole and my co-host is not here again today, still out with the ankle injury. But guess what? He will be back next week. I can promise you that. Me and Ethan back in the studio where we belong, in front of you guys today. Tailgaters, we got a packed show today. It is only just April, the middle of April. MLB season is just getting started. However, the NBA season is winding down, and we're going to go across the pond over to Europe, check in on some soccer, all this and more to come on Tailgaters. Without further ado, let's roll that intro.
Okay, we don't have audio on this, so we'll just have to cut it in the post-production.
Welcome back, everyone. And without further ado, let's get into the MLB. Like I said, April, season's just getting started, but there are already thousands of storylines all across the league, starting with one of the best series of the regular season, which happened over the weekend, Dodgers-Padres. And this is the first series of many matchups to come with among these teams. And the Dodgers, debatably the best team in the NL. The Padres, debatably the second best team in the NL, going up against each other, NL rivals. And the Dodgers were able to take 2 of 3, and it was an unbelievable series. Mookie Betts made a diving catch in Game 2. The Dodgers beat the Padres in late extra innings in Game 1. However, the Padres were able to take Game 3. All these happened in San Diego at Petco Park. It'll be interesting to see who comes out of the NL West. With no surprise, the Dodgers are having an amazing season. You have the fantabulous pitching of Clayton Kershaw, Trevor Bauer, Walker Buehler. You have a great lineup with Mookie Betts. Chris Taylor's a nice utility guy in there. Justin Turner, Corey Seager. The names are endless for the Dodgers. But moving on to some teams who are successful, which may be a little surprising. First off, the red-hot Boston Red Sox. They destroyed Lucas Giolito and the White Sox on Patriots Day yesterday on Monday. And they are having a great start ahead of the AL East. Unlike rivals New York Yankees, who are 5-10 through their first 15, an absolutely abysmal start for them. Now on to the team that everyone knew was going to be good, the Seattle Mariners, of course. Somehow, some way, they are 11-6 atop the AL West. Great start for them. Yet again, though, the Mariners started hot last year again as well and did not finish the season so hot. They got a nice young batch of players there. Kyle Lewis is just a heck of a player. And I mentioned Corey Seager earlier. His brother Kyle Seager is also a leader for that Mariners team. MLB is, the baseball is the best sport. That's why I'm rocking the Cardinals jersey today. They're a little up and down, the Cardinals themselves, but there's so many storylines in baseball. You'll be watching all summer long. But now we're getting into a couple weeks left into the NBA season. Playoffs are right around the corner. And let's start it off with the player to watch right now. It's Steph Curry, everyone. Steph Curry is absolutely destroying the league right now. He has the most games in a row of 30-plus points by a 33-year-old. He is shattering every three-point record in the books. What an amazing season for Steph. And many people are arguing that he is the MVP. Now, he's not the MVP. The MVP is Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic also put up an amazing game last night, 47 points of his own to go along with 15 boards. And the Nuggets are a top seed in the West. Unbelievable job from them, even though they lost Jamal Murray too. But Jokic has been able to torch defenses with his overall just new era center play. Nikola Jokic will lead the Nuggets to probably a first-round exit because their team is unfortunately not good enough to compete with some of the beasts of the West. But Steph Curry, an absolutely amazing stretch of play for him. Now, the West is, a lot of fun. You got a lot of these like Steph, Jokic, the teams around this. Of course, LeBron and AD are still there. But I think a more competitive conference is the Eastern Conference. You have 4 or 5 teams around the bottom, which you may not think is very impressive or very cool at all. But they include my Chicago Bulls, as well as the Raptors, the Wizards, the Celtics kind of faltering in between that bunch, the Charlotte Hornets without LaMelo Ball. They're in there as well. And the East, the bottom of the East is just everyone's fighting for it, along with the Nets. The Nets are a struggling team right now. Kevin Durant re-injured his leg. It was more of a thigh contusion this time. He is going to be out for hopefully not too long. Fingers crossed on that one. You hate to see one of the best players just struggle with injuries this much. The Nets are going to fight for that Eastern Conference trophy. The NBA, folks, it is ruthless. And It's going to be a heck of a postseason run for a lot of these teams. If I were to give a small prediction right now, I'm going Sixers, Clippers, but anything can change in the next couple of weeks. And Jokic's my MVP, of course. But moving across the pond, we're going over to Europe, and there's a lot of storylines in the soccer world right now. One of them is the potential formation of a new European Super League that takes up to 20 of the best teams in Europe formed into one league, and they will, in my opinion, completely ruin the game of soccer if they did this. However, we have some good news on the front. Chelsea and Manchester City have already said they will not be participating in the Super League before. They did agree to it before. However, now they are out. They are no longer a part of that. Thank goodness, because that would be terrible for the state of soccer, and it would be awful. However, there's competition going on right now, and that is the UEFA Champions League. Chelsea and Man City, they got games to worry about themselves in a week. Chelsea goes up against Real Madrid in the semifinals of the Champions League, and Man City faces off with France, not for the country of France, but the French big side over there. That's PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, with a Neymar, Mbappe, Di Maria on PSG. But Man City, they've been the best club in Europe all year long, and I got City winning that one, and I also have Real Madrid taking that. City versus Real Madrid in the final, but we'll see what happens. And you know what? People always forget about soccer in the great UEFA Champions League, and I think that's blasphemous. UEFA Champions League, one of the best tournaments in the world, and the final is always just one of the best events annually. But now, without further ado, let's get on to the final segment of the week, Statement of the Week. My statement of the week this week, folks, is this is the second week in a row where I don't have Ethan. It's just me. It's only me. It goes back to MLB. Teams are going to want to hit the panic button on the New York Yankees. Now, I can see why. The Yankees are struggling. They're 5-10. Garrett Cole has not gotten the run support in his starts. Not only that, the overall pitching staff for the Yankees has lacked. However, don't press the panic button just yet. The New York Yankees will make the playoffs in 2021. And not only that, they'll be fine. The Yankees, they might even win the division. Who knows? I think they could easily do it. They're probably still my pick to win the division, despite the Red Sox being good. The Rays are obviously still there. The Blue Jays have a lot of young talent. The Baltimore Orioles are ahead of the New York Yankees right now. You don't see that happening. I know Ethan is not here right now, but he's here in my heart, and he is cheering for the Orioles to do something. Unfortunately, Ethan, they won't. But the Yankees will make the playoffs. They will be fine. Anyway, folks, that's going to be it for Tailgaters. Sorry, that's just me this time. I can only be so much. You know, me and Ethan here, Mr. Cole, and next time, hopefully, he'll be here back to our regularly scheduled podcast. Final message of the week, just stay safe, everyone. Wear a mask, and see you guys next time.